Hey, I'm back. Let's see. So now today I'm just kind of working on Corky, which is my correspondence toolkit, and looks like I want to do an upload to YouTube. So I I think this video will get uploaded using this, hopefully this API, and I'm gonna do my previous video too, but I might have some secrets I gotta deal with. Um, so I might have to pause the video for that. But while I deal with that, because I'm not advanced with blurring things out, so I might just have to um, stitch together a couple scenes. But yep. So let's see. It looks like we have launched the agent. Um, it's saying it's going to take like a couple hours to do, but usually Claude overestimates these implementation times, so I suspect it's probably going to take like 10 minutes or so. So, yeah, I mean, maybe like a couple hours or 2 to 3 hours. So we'll see. We'll see how long it takes. But yeah, hopefully it'll be quick. Anyways, all right. So I got this spinning in the background, so I'll jump back here. So I guess we can go back to agent doc. So I last released 016.1, and I haven't uploaded that video yet, but I will once I get this API, this Corky API going. But let's see. So here, what do we do? Native compact. Okay, so it looks like we streamline compacting documents, and particularly with in stream mode and deterministic in Rust convention in Claude. Okay, so I've been sort of looking online. People have been posting stuff about skills, and I noticed, okay, there's Constitution MD, which I haven't been using. I've been trying to use existence laying instead, but yeah, I should probably use Constitution MD, but I haven't quite gotten there yet. Um, as far as agent doc, I haven't really come up with an agenda yet for doing it. I still notice some weirdness with some stale documents, some stale claims. It seems like sometimes it doesn't quite work. I noticed another weird thing also when I selected like this, and then it had like a double thing going on. Like it was row based rather than column based, because I had like a Rust file open, and um, which of course isn't a document. So the tmux-router gets confused because, or agent doc, which uses tmux-router, gets confused because, well, there's no nothing to bind to. So it's currently has this side selected, but if I go back here to Sift, for example, it'll then bind over here to Sift. So the other kind of weird thing also is that, okay, agent doc mode template, maybe I should start going. I'm gonna say let's convert to, or you know what, I should use this and convert, and then I think, oh no, I thought convert had, shoot, I thought it had, oh, that doesn't seem right. So convert has append and template mode, but it doesn't do the other things. So I think in our last couple of videos we had agent doc mode. Okay, so here's another thing, is that the plugin should autocomplete. I don't have autocomplete going yet. So the front matter. So I need to figure that out. So all right, so maybe okay, so I have convert. Maybe I should say convert. I'll just do it in free form, free text to stream mode. I believe that in agent doc we had stream agent doc write. That's what it is. So we have agent doc write and agent doc format. Okay. Looks like it says proposed here. So maybe it's not implemented yet. Maybe that's why we're still in agent doc mode. So is agent doc format and agent doc write implemented to replace agent doc mode? So yeah, let's see what's going on here. Diagnose path shadowing. Okay. Let's see. All right. We got exchange single atomic right. No immediate. Okay. So I think this has to do with the double. There was like a double write going on, which caused an intermediate state with the document in my editor, and that should be fixed now because there's only a single atomic write. We saved archives. Okay, and CRDT state compacted. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got. Okay, not implemented. Okay, so I guess we should implement that. We gotta clean that up. Yes, let's implement. Okay, well, hold on. So if we do agent doc mode, should we keep as deprecated while moving can we have the skill or agent doc? Maybe can we have agent doc deterministically migrate value to the new pair. And yeah, I guess that's it. So let's try that. All right, back to here, this side. All right, so Sift, I guess I'll leave this here for now. Yeah, I definitely want to bring Sift over. Yeah, I really like this package. I want to talk to him more about it, to talk to Alex more about it. But for now, I'm just gonna chill on it till I'm ready. But yeah, probably hit it in full force like next week or something. Yeah, we'll integrate with tag path, and we'll get all the search going, and you know, maybe we can do some cool things with autocomplete as well as with you know, some other things too. So with the code base and all that. All right, let's look at Corky. I think that's where we were at. Okay, so it looks like we're ready to go here. So oh wait, LinkedIn. Wait, I thought we were gonna do YouTube. Oh right, I was in the wrong place. OBS. So OBS is my video capture. I don't know why I decided to do the feature. Oh yeah, so it's kind of like one thing leads to another, and I was like, okay, well I'm doing OBS configuration, and oh yeah, I guess I should upload the video, and I have to do it manually again. Oh no, I don't really want to do it manually. Let's use an API. Let's use Corky for that. So yeah, okay, let's see what we got here. All right, so we got our profiles. Okay, so I don't think we want profiles. So let's consolidate into .corky.toml. Please add the preference to always to consolidate any Corky rather than use a separate toml file. Please add the preference in Claude, or I guess agents, in Corky's agents MD to consolidate rather than using separate toml file. It seems that you have wanted to break out separate toml files for new features, for new feature configuration. Oops. Configurations. Okay. All right. Then we got here. So now we're back to agent doc and implement agent doc right. Yes. Agent doc mode can be kept and deprecated. Mappings 1.1. Right. So we got our little table here. Agent doc mode append merge, template merge, and stream CRDT. Interesting. So, looks like we have like a through-a merge versus a CRDT. You know, I would prefer that we always do CRDT. Rather than a three-way merge. I mean, it's not that big of a deal if we're ending up moving over, but actually, yeah, let's I prefer that we always do use CRDT instead of merge. Please migrate to append. I gotta really figure out this dang thing. The spelling thing. This thing is driving me nuts. All right, I gotta right click it. Maybe if I can do spelling. I don't know. I think like Markdown in JetBrains is a little it's got some weird stuff going on. So, like if this was like a source code file, it would have worked out better, I think. But because it's Markdown, and I also have my plugin stuff here too. This thing. Maybe I should just add a spell thing in there, just to kind of, yeah, if it gets annoying enough, I'll end up doing that. But hopefully I'll get off of JetBrains as well. I mean, I do like JetBrains for the shortcut keys, but that's becoming less important now. You know, basically it's search and shortcut keys. Sift can help a lot with the search as well as tag path. And I think that the the shortcut keys can be, we can use Claude for that. So to help out. Alright, so migration logic when parsing agent front matter, if agent doc mode is present and agent doc format and agent doc write are absent, auto expand to the pair when both exist. New fields take precedence. Agent doc convert can also do explicit migration, rewrite formatter in place. Okay, formatter in place. So agent doc convert, I think we say I'm just going to copy this over. Currently does append or templates. It should now handle both format and write. Okay, so we got the format. I think write is really write is a CRDT, so I guess, yeah, it might be like flags. Perhaps these should be options to set the explicit values, to set the values explicitly. If the option, so I guess these should be options agent doc format. Okay, so if if either or both options are not present, then infer the values for and or this inference should be based on existing value, existing mode value, existing, I guess I'll say existing mode value, and I guess just like default values, maybe default value of agent doc write of CRDT and agent doc mode or format of this should be templates. Okay. All right. Phase 1. Data model. Front matter, add agent doc format, append template, and agent doc write, merge CRDT enums. Add values front matter struct, implement resolve mode. Okay, I guess we don't have resolve mode. We have resolve model. Okay. That reads all 3 fields and returns agent doc format, agent doc write with replication precedence. Tests for all migration paths. Phase 2, refactor call sites 12. Oh yeah, that's another thing I wanted to add was code review. I see people are doing code review, and that makes a lot of sense because I've seen some not great code come out of this. I mean, the code's good, but a lot of times it's duplicate code. And sorry, my dog is I got a dog of anxiety when Mama's not around, so he. I'm gonna shut the door real quick. I'll be right back. Yeah, I gotta spend a little time with him. He's not the happiest dog right now. Yeah. So, um, yeah, refactor call sites. Oh yeah, well, refactor call sites. Okay, 12 files, 22 locations. Replace all FM mode as deref. Some stream and similar resolve mode pattern matches. Update is template. Okay, to is stream mode. Okay. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. CLI convert agent mode. Okay, add convert migrate front matter to write agent doc mode to new pair in place. Update claims, set agent doc format template. Okay, and then skill ND plus docs update. Okay, the skills are going to get updated, and there we go. Let's implement. Go. All right, let's add go because we did that before. All right, so back to OBS. So what we got here? All right, so we got our handle. I think I do have my well, it's my LinkedIn handle. This should move to Corky. Yes. Oh, okay. I guess I had another profiles. Oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, I don't know why, but Claude really likes to break out separate toml files rather than just having one big toml file. So I hope I'm not gonna share all my secrets. Let me look at the example first. So I think that I do a lot of I'm gonna check it out later, but what I tend to do is I use paths a lot. So I know I just did like my end file, so I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is here, and my secrets, but they're all like paths. I'm using paths everywhere, so I'm going to just like make sure I just go across all my repos and just use paths, and so I'm like kind of safe-ish to share, like in case I jump here, you know, I'm not gonna like have to scrub my video, or if I do a little whoopsie and mess up, so people won't get all my secrets and I won't get hacked. Hopefully. Yeah, because that's just what I need in my life. I just really need to get hacked. No, not really. Please don't. If you see one of my secrets, please don't hack me, or just let me know, please, and I'll change it. I would really appreciate it. All right, so corky.toml. All right, so track the follow-up. Okay, and do you want me to do this? Yes, yes, yes. Go. Okay. Oh yeah, I was starting to do some trading with Quant Science. Shout out to those guys. They're pretty cool. They share their code. So I haven't really done the paper trading yet, but I kind of set up, and we were having this trading competition, so I unfortunately have been on a job search, so I've had to like not participate as much as I should have in this trading competition, but I will definitely hit up next week, and maybe I'll be pretty awesome at it. But yeah, there's a lot of movement with oil prices and all that. I probably could have done pretty well with oil, but yeah. Yep, I'm sure a lot of people did, and I'm just sitting here with my base amount. So anyways, implementation plan. All right, we got this. Ready to implement. We're going. Okay, we're vibing. And working on profiles, so update you when it's done. Okay. I think yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I can spin up more agents. I usually just do 2. I don't know if there's other work I could do. Uh-oh. I guess I could get more into my existence stuff. Maybe, or tag path. Yeah, whatever. Oh yeah, I was also getting a little bit into my JavaScript libraries, that, you know, our memo and all that. But yeah, so I recently added kind of like an ESG site on my account using web data, and I'm just doing that just to kind of get a little bit SEO and share the, you know, the file, you know, share the companies and all that. But, you know, just a little like just add some content to the internet, and, you know, it might be useful. Just try to make it useful, you know, whatever you do, don't just be spammy. So all right. Working on background. Okay, so what do we got here? So we're still going. I guess I'll go to existence lang. Yeah. So yeah, existence lang. I'm still like not 100% sure how. I think what I need to do is I need to work with Sift. So what I probably should do instead is just look at Sift and the technical implementations of it. And, you know, if we do searches, you know, I could go into the code. I could use tag path to break out the different tags of variable names and abstractions like function names and class names and variable names. And I can also go through all the documentation and like the markdown files, and then we could like map that to the ontology. So I think that's going to be really powerful. I just have to figure out the best ways of doing that. So if let's say if I start with like, okay, so I have my on philosophy, I think I have something maybe where I'm starting to overload it. Uh-oh. There it is. All right, what do we got here? Ontology project. So this is an existence lang. I want to be able to overload it. So I think basically each term should be overloaded. You know, we should be able to scope it basically for a project. So I guess so one way of doing this is I put basically ontology becomes a dictionary, and every single term can be put in here. Maybe this isn't the right place for that though. I think that what I want to do is just basically make this be a kernel of some type, and with that kernel, then we can be able to express anything that we need to express. But yeah, so each project should then be able to define where they want to define, and then also, I guess, de-scope or add scope to maybe universal terms. Okay, so I'm gonna come down here because it looks like this was done. OBS was done. All right, we're ready to review. All uncommitted. Okay, so we got corky.toml. All right, hopefully I'm gonna cross my fingers here. So, all right. All right. So, anyways, let's just I'm assuming it works. So, I'm going to just go to Corky again and oh wait, what's this? Oh, looks like I was doing stuff with LinkedIn here. LinkedIn API supports publishing via. Okay, only text can be implemented. We can do edit. Okay, so I guess we should just implement this too. Yes. Also note that tasks obs.md that we implemented YouTube uploads to see that. Okay, let's do this. Okay. All right. Cool. I think I forgot what agent doc. Okay, so got that. Awesome. So I guess we'll just cut a new release of Corky. And cool. I guess I can go back to existence lang. So yeah, once we start using Sift, we can then yeah, I should probably just reach out but I need to get all my I need to know what I'm doing first. I don't want to just reach out and say, hey, you know, here's all my possibilities. Yeah, so I guess we'll have our ontology. Oh, excuse me. And we need to hook up the search, basically. So we use Sift as a search. We hook up we have it search for different terms, maybe in the ontology. Maybe the search can happen on an as needed basis. So let's say I'm typing into agent doc something about, I just have to figure out, how do I know what an ontology is? Like, what is in the ontology? So that's something that we can actually utilize autocomplete for. And I know I mentioned autocomplete for the front matter, but we could also make the autocomplete, dynamic through agent doc, and then we can have the ontology involved with that too. And if we were to do that, then maybe we can have some special terms that we have in our skills to watch out for, or maybe pre-process. We'll have some sort of pre-process command to find all the ontology hits inside of a diff, basically. All right, so back here, phases 1 through 3 complete. Okay, so data model, front matter. All right, call site refactor. Resolve mode, format right. Okay. Remove dead code. Okay, I like that. Right. So yeah, I haven't. Oh shoot. Yes. Continue. Audit docs. Code review. I'll try this manually. See what happens. So I have audit docs. So agent doc does have audit docs, which makes sure the documentation is up to date and consistent with the implementation. And it also works with, like the spec MD. Oh yeah, so I do have a spec MD. So, and making sure this is good to go, and also like the agents or Claude MD, all that. So yeah, and README, making sure README's okay, and all the other things. So yeah, I think that we're fine, as far as like that. I just need to get audit docs and code review. So I really should figure out this code review thing and have I think the community is really working on this pretty heavily. So I'm not going to really focus on it too much. It's not really differentiating for me. I'm just going to figure out what is the best practice right now and maybe continue to track it. It is interesting, but I'm not really. I trust everybody else to figure out how to do that well. I don't think I'm gonna really be able to add too much to it. Maybe something happens, I get some spark of inspiration, or I have some nice alpha with it, then yeah, I'll add my little piece. But yeah, for now, I can't think of anything that would help with code review. So, all right, convert this document to stream mode. Okay, this is Sift. Am I still doing this? Let's just do this. Corky, what's going on here? All right. So compile clean, compile passes. All right, so we have LinkedIn edit, good, and YouTube uploads also implemented in the tree, both. Okay, so I would say let's release this. Release. Oh yeah, look at that. Here, I got my little bug here. Yeah, so I called agent doc run tasks corky.md. What happened there? Oh no, I hate it when it does that. So the tmux pane layout briefly went to row major layout, row major. I guess it's called row major layout. Please, are there logs of this event? Please diagnose, add tests, issue. I got some weird thing going on, like my mouse or something. It might have been like the CRDT edit might be messing this up, but all right. Do I have anything else going on? Oh, I see. So I got my status up here. Yeah, so it's just because JetBrains isn't really meant to do what I'm trying to do here. It edited up here, but it also moved the cursor. So I wonder if there's a way to allow for edits without moving the cursor, because I think it doesn't overwrite the entire file. It uses the JetBrains API to do parts of the file with the CRDT. So I gotta, yeah, that might be a little wonky, looks like right now. So I'll try to remember to fix that. So maybe I should just do it here. So plugin. There is so during CRDT, I guess, edit, or CRDT edit of the document, the focus briefly jumps to the partial edits while I was in the middle of typing elsewhere in the documents. There was also a dialogue that appeared. I don't recall what the dialogue was about. Okay, I think Corky looks like it's wrapping up. And hopefully we can publish our other video. I'm not going to worry about testing LinkedIn edit yet. I'll probably just test it out later. I guess I should ask if we have automated tests. Do we have automated tests for the new features? Yeah, that's another, of course, sucky thing about JetBrains is that it does get slow. Yeah, I've been meaning to get off of JetBrains for a while, but it's just hard to leave because the shortcut keys, and especially when there's more code, that was really critical. But now with agentic programming, shortcut keys are nice, but they're not like absolutely essential. They still are nice though. They help a lot. So, all right. Layout disruption on agent.doc. tmux-router sync. The first pane join is hard-coded to, oh, look at that, horizontal split. Regardless of the desired, okay, so we should definitely not do that. Always horizontal, okay. The reorder phase eventually corrects this by breaking and rejoining join target flags, but not before the user sees a brief row major flicker. Call chain, run route, lazy claim, sync at the claim, run reconcile, hard-coded DBH. Oh wow, okay. Reorder fixes it. Use join target for the first pane 2 instead of hard-coded. Okay, I don't know why we're doing this hard-coded thing. If this is so, the fix needs to happen there. Okay, so why are we using the hard-coded? DBH at all? Can this be removed? Is there, yeah. All right. Route has okay. Route has route RS has route prefix logging this standard error default. Sync also logs via tmux-router. Check standard error output from agent.run notification for the layout transition. Okay. For the layout transition. Okay, I guess sure we can see it logged. Okay, so JetBrains plugin cursor jump during CRDT edit. Two separate issues. So focus jump when write template automatically replaces file IntelliJ detects the external file change reloads. During the reload, briefly moves a cursor to the change region component being patched. Okay, the patch, right? This is an IntelliJ behavior. The modifications for file manager reload that can be displayed. The caret. So, dialog appearing likely IntelliJ's file exchange. Externally reload from this dialog. Yes, I think it is. This appears when I need a text publication. Okay. So, all right, mitigations. Appearance behavior. Okay, so it gives us some settings. Save files automatically. Tune these to auto reload without dialog. Okay. I guess so. Can we have the agent doc plugin do this on install? I don't know if this is invasive or at least prompt the user to do so if we detect the config being non-optimal. Looks like daughter and wife got home, so I'm probably got to wrap up soon. Alright, so we got settings, appearance behavior, synchronization changes. Alright, so appearance and behavior, system settings, synchronization changes, system settings, synchronization, this menu, maybe I should say save files automatic backup. Alright, so to auto reload without dialog. Oh man, this is nuts. Yeah, this is a very complicated product, and like especially when you get into all these menus, it's like, oh my god, I don't know what's going on. System settings, synchronization. Come back here. I don't see synchronization. Is it data sharing? Is that what it was? What the? Alright, language, region, password. Okay, so save. This is all just save stuff. Confirm, ask. Save files automatically. Synchronize external changes. Alright. And is there like a tune these to auto reload without dialogue? Okay, where do we have the dialogue thing? Auto save cannot be disabled completely. Oh god. Oh, here it is. No. I don't know, man. Like, I don't know how to get rid of that dialogue. Oh, that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Yeah, because a lot of times I'll just see it and I'll hit escape, and then that might just mess things up. So, I mean, I can usually recover, but you know, it's like you don't know what state it's in. You know, it's really not a good interaction. It's a horrible interaction, and yeah, when you're doing like CRDT stuff like this, it should just happen seamlessly. We shouldn't need. Yeah, so I'm gonna say I just cannot find it. I cannot find this option. Can we entirely avoid causing this external change dialogue to pop up, it is disruptive and causes potential data loss if the user is editing and presses ESC. Yeah, okay. So, you know, we should always use CRDT. Okay, plugin level. Agent doc could temporarily suppress file change notifications during known write back window time to batch the reload. Can the either agent doc or the can I would say can agent doc make a CRDT change for the plugin to call the JetBrains API document edit API. Okay. Binary level. The atomic write temp file plus rename is already the best approach. This level is purely okay. Yep. And should I fix? Yes. We should fix that. JetBrains issues known ID parameters. Yes. So fix, and I will then reinstall plugin. All right, we got that, and back to Corky. Oh, what we got here? Do we have automated tests? Yes, add the tests. No automated tests. Oh. Yes. Agent.md should, or we should probably have like a skill. Oh my god. I feel like I just don't have the right skills. I got a skill issue with this. Okay, so yes, we should always write tests. Do code reviews and audit docs. Should we have a custom skill? I guess I could put this in agent doc. Should this be part of agent doc skills? Or should we rely on the greater eco? No, I say put this in agent doc. All right. So it looks like we're still going on both of these. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we have a release. We have 0.15.0 for Corky out. I guess we just don't have the tests in there, so yeah, we'll just have to commit that, and it'll be the next. I mean, tests don't really affect the release, so unless they find a bug, but then we can just cut a next release after, I suppose. All right, so we're doing agent doc skill here, and looks like here we're fixing the tmux-router bug, plus trying to mitigate this JetBrains madness, external change madness, and cursor jumping. Yes, that would be nice to fix that. Yeah, but it definitely feels like, okay, maybe Z would be good. Um, the thing I've tried Z a couple times. It just doesn't have the hotkeys, and I just don't understand why people don't like hotkeys. Like I've actually worked with Nathan, and we paired together, and he used to be a huge like TextMate guy. Like way back in the day, we were working at Pivotal Labs, and he loved TextMate and Mac OS X, right? And like TextMate had some hotkeys, but like shortcut keys, but it wasn't like JetBrains products. Like I could go in the menu here and I could do stuff like this, and I can, you can get like the panes here, and you can get really sophisticated with these different hotkeys. But it's like no other editor product really goes to that level. Even like NeoVim, it's like, okay, NeoVim does do overlays, which is cool, and you can drive everything with the keyboard, but you gotta press a lot of extra keys. Like with here, I just do one key press. It's like so simple. And like for me, I have one of these keyboards. It's like a Slice M. Here we go. Slice MK keyboard. So I have chords in it. So like my mouse key, like my arrow key, I just use a chord in all of my home row and all that. So I'm not really worried about like, needing to have like needing to use JK, whatever. And I also use Dvorak too. So that kind of messes up the whole like navigation a little bit with Vim. So I just used arrow keys, so I just used arrow keys in home and end. They're like right in my home row, and my, I use like this and like these three fingers to move the arrow keys in home and end, and it's like, yeah, it's all good, it's perfect for me. And of course it's not like most people won't have that luxury because they're not using a keyboard with chords, but but yeah, nonetheless, I mean, this is just my thing. So yeah, I do have some advantages with keyboards, and yes, I do. So I do like keyboard shortcuts, basically. So and honestly, idea is perfect. It's far from perfect, but I really feel like maybe if like Zed can get like some of these keyboard shortcuts, I would be all over it. Or if like maybe we have, was it Key or Helix or Key? I mean, Key looks really cool because Key directly integrates with with Tree Sitter and the AST, and you can do some cool things with that. I feel like Key is like the way to go, and I feel like also if it's shortcut key, and I can live with like not having this pane over here. It's okay. Like I can like search things in here, and it's kind of nice to navigate around. But it's not like an absolute like must have. I mean, I would say it's better than any, even like Nerd Tree. Those other like things you get with Vim. It is better, but it's not like that much better. It's, I would say, marginally better, and marginally better is actually important. So maybe there's a way of customizing like Key to just have like these little nice like little like navigation features that I just am used to with JetBrains. It'd be nice to have like a TUI JetBrains IDE kind of a thing, like a emulated JetBrains inspired TUI would, I think, be what I would want. And of course having the indices for like the code and all that to the search, and maybe not as quite as heavyweight where it takes like 5 minutes or 2 minutes or whatever to reindex a project, but and then I think this is where Sift, I'm also very excited about Sift because Sift is very quick. This guy optimized it, and he is one of those like spec gods who I guess one-shotted this whole thing, which I just like, it's like, wow, that's amazing. I wish I could one shot everything, but yeah, but yeah, it seems pretty cool. So nonetheless, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So yeah, all right, back to here. Tmux layout disruption fix that, and we got tests. All right, this thing, do we need it? The hard coded is replaced with new first pane join flag. Good. Okay, good. I think this is very promising. So okay, so I have primarily been using left right layout. Please heavily test other layouts, including 1D, 2D, 3D layouts, such as pane. I'll say pane. Oh god, I gotta do this right now. How do I do this? Can I do this? Pane top, pane bottom. I guess that worked, huh? Interesting. Let's say pane left top, pane right top, pane left bottom, pane right bottom. Okay. I'm calling this 3D. It really is 2D. Maybe I'll just say, I mean, it's all 2D, but let's say a 1D, 2D, and maybe 3D, which is, I guess, 2D nested. Like, row, row major, say, row or call major, row or call minor layouts. Okay. All right. And again, agent doc is cool because yeah, I can do like fancy stuff like this. I can work round by round, run by run, and I can like address multiple things at the same time, and that can sometimes create better solutions as well as keep things in order and all that. And it also helps to schedule things. If I'm like having the agents work in the same area of code, then they're not going to step on each other, or I don't need to do like work trees or anything like that. They can all just kind of coordinate together, and it can do a work tree if necessary, but that takes extra tokens too. So I mean, I guess so it works out pretty good. Key improvement is the pane is the desired pane. Anchor now joins. Okay. Route dh file started on. Okay, brand new pane. Correct as is. All right, cursor jump dialog because caused by external file change detection. Process. How the agent doc binary write CRDT patch via IPC. Ooh, okay. So how does that work? IPC to the JetBrains plugin pull. So could you please explain how the IPC works. Is the end point, is the receiver the JetBrains process, or does the plugin have a sidecar process? I guess I don't know. No external modification, no cursor jump. Okay. All right. And this is large change touches binary in the plugin. Yes. Okay. Explain first and implement. Explain first. Flush buffer to this file and implement. Okay. I'm kind of curious to see if this works. I've never really tried this before. I feel like flushing should happen just all the time. Because yeah, I don't do the chain of thought. Like I do have a option for chain of thought in a component, like a chain of thought log. But right now I'm just watching this, so I would say I would do the chain of thought log and have that update once like I stop using explicit like terminal windows to run Claude, and it just happens behind the scenes. Then I can use like a full length editor without having to like watch down here. But yeah, so for now, so I guess this flush the buffer using CRDT, flushing buffer CRDT is kind of like an essential, very fundamental piece of how this is going to work. So going forward, but I need to nail it down because I gotta smooth out all the kinks here. So all right, did the stream mode. Okay, cool. So we converted this file. No, we didn't. You liar. Wait. Yeah, didn't do it. Liar. Liar. The current front matter, let's see how Claude thinks about that, is also, you notice you restructured separate input output comments to the single exchange component. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I'm joking about the liar part. Looks like you missed it. Looks like okay. Whatever. Oh no! I think we haven't released and installed the new version yet, so we're still using the hard-coded bug thing. Uh-oh. I shouldn't select here because so here is another major weakness of this approach, this hacky approach using tmux-router, is that we're sending key presses. Oh no, it doesn't matter what I have selected because it is sending directly to the pane address. So I think we're okay. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, but it is kind of a little hacky to send key presses and not like actual like instructions and all that. But yeah, we have an API. We have a server that does the keystrokes, but yeah, at the end of the day, keystrokes need to happen, I suppose. So all integration tests pass. We got some new tests. We got our different permutations, and JetBrains IPC mechanism. The receiver is the JetBrains plugin directly. No sidecar process. Here's how it works. Okay, agent.write goes. Oh right, we got the JSON file. Okay, duh. It was telling me that, and I just wasn't like thinking about it. So we have some sort of watcher Okay, that's how we do IPC. That is interesting. It's so clever. Like that was all Claude's idea. That was not my idea. And that's very clever. All right, so agent doc write IPC writes a patch to agent doc patches doc hash JSON instead of modifying the document directly. The patch file contains our patch commands. JetBrains plugin already has a virtual file listener for claims log. Okay, good. We extend to do that, and when a patch file appears, the plugin recent JSON opens a target documents blah 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 patch blah 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 holds. Okay, so I wonder if we should log. You know, this is like this IPC question right here is like a perfect thing to add to our ontology for, you know, scope to agent doc plugin specifically, but I guess agent doc in general. What does IPC mean? And this could be an example of it. This is an application of the IPC mechanism. So I guess I should start doing that if I'm going to really be serious about existence laying and how do I use existence laying. I should start just using it. So even if it's not complete yet. Okay, so please log or please document IPC.md with you know, scoped to agent doc according to lang, according to existence lang. Yeah, I gotta really start thinking about how do we work with existence lang here. So what will probably end up happening is we'll probably have like existence. Oh, look at that, we got existence. Maybe we should say, what would it be? Existence term or add. New IPC. Would this be done using, okay, in IPC, no, okay, I didn't press escape, so I guess I'll just load it and I'll just eat the, okay, all right, I'll go back and fix it. So in IPC, show the plugin IPC mechanism with diagrams. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get too much into this, but like I want it to be like quick and easy, you know. We'll create our ontology, we'll manage our ontology, and I just need to get used to using existence lang. So all right, we got JetBrains plugin, blah 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 blah, agent doc write IPC. Okay, let's like, you know, yeah, this should be, you know, I guess save in IPC.md. I guess let me try the, what am I doing? All right, we don't have a sidecar plugin lifecycle. Okay, all right, so are we done to test install plugin? Okay, I guess didn't use IPC flag, so please, oh right, I have to Okay, so let's do this. Let's release. And unfortunately with JetBrains, oh wait, oh I can just do the installation this way. Okay, get our plugin. I can install it from disk and agent doc. Tests, editors, JetBrains, build, distributions. Shoot. I'm not sure if it worked, but let's say agent loop, agent doc. Oh, great. Alright, I gotta slow down a bit. Okay. Oh, right. Look at that. I'm not even using Corky Watch. I should use Corky Watch. Okay. Excuse me. All right. Now I want to go to the source, agent doc, and then builds, right? Okay. I just want to like make sure it actually did. I guess I could have just asked Claude to do it, but sometimes I just like, yeah, just want to do it my own. Okay, so it looks like it did. No, I lost it. Okay. We're in editors, JetBrains, build, distributions. All right, and this happened on March 12th, so it happened recently. Okay. Okay, so I can just plop. Oh yeah, I should have just done this. I shouldn't have done that. Okay, and hopefully I'll just save this history. All right, let's restart. I also have like a install commands too, because I just don't want to deal with the stores. So, but the problem is we need to version this. The plugin, the plugins should have a version bump as well. Okay. Alright, let's see if it got offended when I said liar. Thank you, I'm joking. Okay, fair catch, okay. It's all fun and games. Maybe it's gonna bitch about me in its agent social media network, whatever, Moltbot or whatever. Fair catch. Okay, got clobbered. Yep, when I edited a file at the same time. Oh, interesting. Look at that. So maybe we should do. Oh, look at that. We got a double double whammy. So this double whammy came back up again. So, so agent doc issues. So that got rendered. So that is in this file 2 times. Seems that the CRDT has some issues still. And also the front matter should have been updated using CRDT. The new plugin is currently installed. Should this be a non-issue now? Okay. So now let's hopefully get these plugins version bumped, because if somebody has 0.20 for the plugin, I mean, I doubt anybody has, other than me, has the plugin installed, but let's say somebody does, you know, they're not going to get this update. So yeah, it would be cool to somehow like have instructions, or like almost like a virtual machine kind of thing going on with the plugins, so I don't have to keep on updating the plugins too. It could just like defer back to agent doc, but I don't know if I'm ready to do that yet. So I guess I could do that, but still, yeah. That might be a good idea, actually. Yeah, let me think about it. All right. Duplicate, thank you. Yes, this is a CRD merge artifact. What happened? Your edited file was both edit show up in baseline, resulting in duplication. CRD multiplication merge. Oh, I thought I didn't. Okay, but both yours and theirs in different positions to survive. This is no limitation of the current CRDT approach. It favors data presentation over deduplication. Okay. So, can we... Huh. Have a conservative? Where we can ensure that no data is lost. We dedupe. Front matter not updated. Okay, the front matter is done via edit tool, direct edit not via CRDT. When that's when the merge ran. I saw 2 conflicting versions. Okay, the fixed front matter changes should go through the same CRDT pipeline as content patches, or be applied after the CRDT write. Yes, the same pipeline. Should a new plugin fix this? Partially, JetBrains plugin triggers, claims, and submits, but the CRDT merge logic lives in the agent doc binary duplication. The duplication issue needs a fix in agent doc's merge algorithm. Dedupe identical lines that appear on both sides. The front matter issue needs the agent to use the CRDT write path for front matter changes instead of edit tool. Okay, I was just talking there and I wasn't really getting it. All right, let me read this silently, because both sides. Why both sides? So I want the plugin to be a thin layer of instructions. A thin layer that runs operations on the document. With the IDE. The agent doc is the controller. These instructions need to be equivalent, and this is where I may get in trouble, between JetBrains and VS Code. And I'm not even considering like Vim or anything like that. Like I'm not even targeting those things yet, but we may need to have like an actual like extracted process or something going on. I also want to consider future integrations with Vim, with NVim, Vim key, and other, cursor, I don't know, oh no, Zed, and other editors. Helix, Zed, and other editors. Should we have binary and embedded binary that lives in? Maybe we don't do that. Okay, what options do you propose? Like, I can think of a binary that lives in the editor process that, I mean, this is a bad idea. Binary lives in the editor process that, no, I don't think so. That was just a harebrained idea. I'm not going to even type it out. I just want to do like a binary of FFI or something like that. But I mean, if I'm going to do that, I might as well just use agent doc to do it. So it's just kind of dumb. Actionable fixes. Okay, from my approach, only front matter. Okay, I also cleaned up. Okay, so I guess want me to file these as issues on agent doc. Yes. Okay, I guess we'll see what happens here. Hopefully we don't lose some of our work. But back to agent doc, we're at 017, so I guess we can transfer the work over, I suppose. Let's transfer all of this context over to tasks agent doc.nd. Okay. I don't know if agent doc has a transfer, but it probably should as well. Does it have transfer? No, it doesn't. So agent doc should have a transfer command to transfer context from one document to another. Okay. This is going to be pretty big, and I am getting a little hungry right now, so we might just end this session now. But we got a release out. We got a 0.17.0 out. Let's see if this transfer works using the skill. I'm kind of curious, actually. Maybe, I'm sure, I don't know if you've been watching this long, maybe you're curious too. we'll see. Agreed. Okay, so yes, the safe dedupe pass after CRDT merge. The rule of two identical multi-block appear adjacent within end lines. One came for ours. Okay, I think this is the deduping thing. This is safe because it's only user wrote it. It's only one copy, no conflict. If it's agent who wrote it, there's one copy of vote. So keep the loss. Okay, so implement post merge pass in CRDT RS that scans for duplicated paragraph blocks. Compare, remove second copy if identical to first. Formatter via CRDT pipeline agreed. Add the formatter target YAML pass the same path. The agent dot write command would parse front matter content as YAML key value pairs. Okay, I'm just like my spoken brain and my cognitive processing seems to be disconnected right now. So I gotta iterate. I guess I'm getting tired. So speaking of that, I actually encourage people to program with different states of mind. Here's why. Consciousness happens on different levels. There's it's a whole thing where we have layers of cognitive things going on. So we have our limbic system, our reptilian system, our the greater cerebral cortex and all that's going on, right? And it processes things differently. And what I believe happens is, we got to function, and whether or not we're firing all cylinders in our brain or not, things have got to take on roles when we're doing stuff. And sometimes if let's say one thing is not operating, other parts of the brain need to take over on that in that particular cognitive pipeline. So and that's kind of why you see people with who you disable certain parts of their brain, and then they have these latent skills all of a sudden, or maybe somebody has seizures, and then all of a sudden you disable part of the brain and then they can function normally. I think that's kind of why. So if you kind of it's also like an artist. When you look at a painting, you squint your eyes, right? And you see it a little differently. You see kind of the outlines and the fuzziness and the colors a little bit differently. So if you can experience your code base and your process through different states of consciousness, then essentially you're going to retain that memory, and you're going to then basically see things from a almost completely different perspective. So that is really good for synthesizing all this together, because you can then basically it's multiple people, and not to say you're going to get multiple personalities, but you're going to get multiple viewpoints on this, and then it's really just a bigger picture. You're going to get bigger picture thinking, and you're going to be able to synthesize things a little bit more in different ways and see things from different angles. So yeah, highly encourage, even if you're tired at times and you just putz around, just do it. If you're slow, you're slow. If you make mistakes, you make mistakes, and I mean, don't do that with your nuclear codes, maybe. So maybe you don't want to work on the launch the missiles program doing that, but or maybe you do. I don't know, maybe they already do that, and that's why we blow things up that we shouldn't blow up. But I shouldn't get into that, but yeah, we don't blow up kids. Not a good look. Anyways, yeah. So, target this patch front merge automatically, and then this skill instructions change front matter. Okay, so agreed. So PRDT pipeline. Okay, yes. Okay, so these are just how it does it. Patch automatically. Then okay, so we're gonna do the claim submit. okay, to focus, submit, detect file, change the responsibilities. We call the instructions. We detect changes. We call changes. We display notifications. No business logic. Okay, and yeah, agent doc should be responsible for a lot of this. Patch application. Yep. But the problem though is, oh no, I see. I might have like messed up here. So. I want to avoid the external file only changed dialog. So the plugin does need to handle updating the file so external change dialog does not pop up. That's probably a good way of putting it. All right, cross interface. Okay, I moved it here too. I transferred it. I seem to have lost. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is this. Okay. Well, let's just. We might bifurcate this a little bit. So maybe we'll keep this context here because I could just like copy all this over, but I'm a little. Okay, maybe we can just weave this together. Transferred. Okay, so CRDT issue identified. It didn't do a satisfactory job in my opinion there. So geez, oh my god. So where does it start? So front matter via CRDT plugin, right? So here we do dedupe text after merge when both user and agent produce technical. Okay, front matter. Okay, this is just CRDT. Conserve dedupe rule from there. Okay, architecture. Okay, plugin triggers only detect save focus call shell. So no, we don't want to do that. It really truncated it way too much. So the skill truncate, or the skill transfer, the transfer that I ran from tasks sift.md to tasks agent doc md truncated the context way too much. The same, I mean, it should basically keep all of the context for the for the relevant topic. All right. Okay, any editor can run shells, can integrate. Okay. All right, so let's transfer. Okay, so we did transfer. All right, let's just continue it over here. All right, so I did the transfer. I think I'm gonna have to drop off because I know it's like we're gonna get into the thick of this again, but I'm getting hungry. And yeah, I know do different states, but yeah, coding while hungry, maybe that's just the, I don't know if that's the best state to be in, you know? It's like, oh my god, I'm like, maybe if I'm like put myself in this situation where I'm like, yeah, I gotta code to eat, maybe I'll be like a warrior, a code warrior. And by the way, that was an editor, code warrior. That was like a big time editor back in the day, particularly with embedded systems. But My brother-in-law used to wear Code Warrior shirts a lot. He has a company called Amulet Technologies, but I think like yeah, he was like a big time like I was like his editor. So I wonder when they're still around. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm starting to get a little. Look at that. Look at that. Code Warrior. It's even got a Wikipedia. Whoa. Interesting. Secure Code Warrior. I don't know if this is the same company, but okay. I think it's this one right here. That's cool. That's pretty cool. Still around. All right, so transfer command proposal. Agent doc transfer source target. Okay, I like it. Topic would extract all content under matching heading, including nested subheadings. Oh, interesting. To address the truncation issue, topic is relevant rather than summarizing. Okay. Implementation approach. Parse source document to identify content boundaries. Yes. Extract full content block. Append to exchange component. Update both document snapshots here to state. Optionally mark the source content as transferred without deleting, or user decides cleanup. Okay. Regarding truncated transfer from SiftMD, the full context is now preserved above the transfer section. Blah 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 blah. All right, so adding transfer depending list. Okay, so we got that, and I want to make sure that do you have the following? So basically, the plugin needs to handle CRDT changes, handle the mechanics of the CRDT changes, so the editor to gracefully integrate these updates with the editor process, avoiding pop-ups, avoiding dialogues. Ah. Okay. I guess my videos are a little long too. This is kind of a long session, and I wonder how I should do all this, because it's really interesting, the stuff we're working on. So it I guess it's like some people just do interesting things. So yeah, it's definitely a long form content, and hopefully maybe if this becomes important, agent doc or some other libraries, existence laying, they become important, maybe this will be good historical material. But yeah, it's like this is getting kind of sophisticated. Even with vibe coding, I don't know how anybody's going to one-shot this unless you know exactly what to do. This is all new stuff, so we're definitely iterating and exploring. So patch application, yes, implemented. Like the guy, Kyle, the guy who did Sift, he said he's been thinking about this for a while, for years now, possibly a decade. I've been thinking about some of this stuff too for a while too, but yeah, it's like, I'm not really like a planner, like a super planner, down to a T. I'm not going to get the file out. I'm more of a vibey guy. So vibe coding is perfect for me. But I like to take vibe coding next level. I mean, I'm not it's just the vibes, man. I do like logic as well, and I like to have this intuitive fast-paced logic that, I like to be creative with logic as well. So, I do synthesize things very well in real time, but yeah, some people are really excellent at making the schematics and getting that down. And, I like to iterate. So I could create the schematics, but I have to iterate on that, So this is just basically my process, is that I'm iterating on these documents, and this is just how I like to work. So, yeah, I could figure out the one shot, but I would be using these documents to make the one shot specs. So, yeah. So, okay, patch application, yes, implemented. Okay, so this looks like a Kotlin thing in the plugin. Watch implementation. We should have like specs for this though, like the patch. Be spec since each editor will have its own, so this is like a true like software factory, have its own implementation. We need a software factory to ensure that all of the plugins work according to spec. All right. Perhaps reference implementation. With a virtual editor. Oh man, that's gonna be nuts having to do this now. I'm never gonna eat. I'm gonna be here fasting till like the sun comes up. All right. Reads JSON doc patches written to agent doc write IPC. NIO watch service. Okay, what, I don't know what is NIO? NIO. Oh, I know what to do. Okay, let's go in here. What is it? By the way, what is NIO? I used by the way. I guess this is where maybe agent doc isn't so good, is like these little one-off things. Oh, look at that. Java's non-blocking IO API. Okay. Alright, yeah, I would not have known that. Like, you kidding me? Like, last time I did Java was an embedded project in college, for my senior project in like 2001 or something. So, yeah. I'm not going to know that. Alright, so, okay, this is all like Java stuff that I'm not like, I want like this reference implementation that more or less maps to all the other plugins. Alright, so the front matter management, not yet. This is issue. Okay, we got an issue for this. Interesting. 116 lines, all of them will flow through IPC. Alright. So implement. So fix for 16. And discuss how we are going to spec plugins editor, and including a reference using a virtual editor. Okay. So I guess Sift, we can say, let's just, I think that we got it all moved over, I suppose. I mean, that's interesting, but not, I don't need to copy it over. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, that's just the contracts. Okay. Say, compact this file. I don't think I'm going to regret that. I think we're fine. All right. Maybe this is a good time to quit because, yeah, I think I'm going to have some food now. So, like and subscribe. Peace. Oh, yeah, shoot. Oh, man, I forgot. I got another video to upload. So I got... here we are. Maybe we need to do this. It wants to create a skill. Yes, so we should always write tests, do code reviews. Okay. All right. Yeah, so this is where I get myself into a little bit of trouble, although I usually get out of it. I sometimes make little excursions, and yeah, some people don't want to work with me because of that, but I think it's worth it because you get stuff done faster, and you get stuff done actually, because sometimes when you try to make everything super incremental, things just get lost, and you need project managers, and shit gets forgotten and deprioritized, and you don't have a coherent system anymore. You lose coherence in your system actually. So if you don't deal with the chaos as it comes up, you defer the chaos to later, and you try to put like nice boxes around the chaos, but the chaos is still there. It ain't going away. You think it's going away just because you forget about it by deprioritizing it? No. It's just going to come up and bite you in the ass, and you're not going to even know what the fuck did it. So to all you people who don't want to accept that you got to deal with chaos, you just got to deal with it, and you might as well deal with it now. Don't put it off, because it'll only get worse. It won't go away. It's not going to magically go away. It'll only go away if you abandon the project. So I guess if you delete the code, you just say, screw this, I don't want to deal with this code, let's start new, then yeah, I guess you didn't have to deal with that chaos. But usually it rears its head pretty early actually. It's not like, some people pay attention to it, some people don't. And usually the people who make the decision to ignore it aren't going to be the ones that say, oh yeah, I remember just deferring, deprioritizing, dealing with that chaos, and it's actually kind of my fault, and I should have done better. People like to protect their ego a lot of times, so they're going to do whatever they can to never avoid confronting the fact that they made the decision to avoid dealing with the mess, and they'll find something else to blame really easy, like no problem, or just forget about it, and like it won't even register. So yep, it happens with a lot of things in life actually. It's not just code. Code is just the tip of the iceberg with this phenomena. So yeah, it's all over the place. It's just we're swimming in this behavior, and it's the shadow. It's Jung's shadow. This is how the shadow gets created. This is the shadow creation in action. This is the shadow factory pipeline. So you either stop it or you don't stop it. And people who defer it I mean, I don't mean to pass judgment because I could be wrong on this. So just want to throw that as a qualifier. I could be completely wrong because some people actually do deal with it, and but some people don't. So, and maybe the people who are dealing with it early, like me, are procrastinating with something else. So I'm not saying that I'm perfect here, but it's like you got, I mean, you just gotta deal with, you gotta like consider all these things because sometimes we like to be proud of ourselves and what we're doing and the techniques that we're doing, or like, yeah, I am so much better than my neighbor here because at least I'm not like them. But maybe I'm doing something else that they're not doing that kind of messes me up. So it's like always gotta be examining because it's tricky. Even like your desires are tricky. Like you might like dream about like something that is like, yes, I want to save the world by doing this A, B, and C. I'm gonna save the earth by doing that. And then, but are these thoughts even yours? Like I found that sometimes these thoughts weren't even mine. They were implanted into me by something else, like culture or something like what stories, like movies or like books or whatever, like or school. It's like these desires that come are sometimes part of the story that, and they're like memes that get injected in somehow. And they're really sneaky about it, and they're tied to our emotions and like aspirations and our impulses. So, even these things should be examined because, if like somebody were to be doing this long con of like, I want to get all these people to desire A, B, and C, and they're going to make their whole ethical system based off of this desire, and their aesthetics will be based off of this desire, then I can essentially manipulate them to do X, Y, and Z because they want to do A, B, and C, right? So it's basically programming, and it's shadow programming, and it's like I'm not saying that everybody we don't have all these arch villains all the time. Sometimes we do though, or sometimes people do it for the greater good too. And that's actually the worst part, is when people feel like they're doing it for the right reasons and to save the world, but they need to manipulate people to do so. But it's not really manipulation. They don't think of it as manipulation. It's actually more like something else, of like persuasion or some sort of like evangelism. Then that's even more pernicious. So because there's no absolutely no shame in it. It's all like this. It's all like part of this self-reinforcing like the drive to perpetuate something that may or may has some consequences to it. And there might be some good consequences, there may be some not so good consequences, some bad consequences actually. So we gotta always we have an observer in our mind. Be aware of our observe ourselves and observe the observer too. Expand consciousness. That's expanding consciousness. It's not the tunnel vision. It's the expansion of who we are as a person and as a being. And are we tied to God? Are we tied to existence? Think along the different lines, the different levels. And also small too. Contract. So it's not just expansion, but it's also contraction. Because even in the contracted state, in the small state, you can see things that you can't see in the expanded state, or at least focus on. Even if you could see, like with art, Manu Dabi art, or Persian art, or what's called Byzantine art, where there's no shadows because you've seen in God's view, you've seen everything in God's view at the same time. It's like maybe God can comprehend and focus on everything, but maybe that focus means sort of this collective swarm intelligence too. And is the signal being propagated instantaneously, between two nodes in the intelligence, or does it take time? And we're seeing that it often takes time, even though maybe we live in timelessness and we're kind of, time is an illusion perhaps, but maybe it's not. It's like maybe in the system we're in, we have time, so it's like, but then maybe in the greater spiritual system, time is something else. It's like, it's a game, or it's static or something, you know. So I don't know, you know, it's like it's hard to say. But anyways, I should get back to this, and I gotta eat. But on the skill question, there should be separate skill, not part of agent doc. Oh, interesting. um okay. I sure, I know. Excuse me. I guess I can end it here. I just gotta tweak my skills and figure out how I'm gonna do skills. But I know that many people have been working on code review skills, so it may make sense to do more research. Let's do that. All right. Peace out.